and welcome to Yoga 413. My name is Tani. Thank you so much for joining me for your yin yoga practice today. This style of class is fantastic for maintaining flexibility and mobility in your joints. Although you do not have to have any props, if you have a blanket or block, pillow, anything like that, you might want to keep it close by just in case you need it, because we're going to be holding these poses for several minutes. Let's go ahead, get what you need, and get started. So the first pose we're going to work on today is butterfly pose. We're going to take the feet together, drop the knees apart and away from each other. As you inhale, just sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, you slowly start to move forward any amount, relaxing into this stretch. Never forcing, but trying to find your edge, that place where you feel the stretch in the body, but you can maintain and find stillness at that edge. With every exhale, try to soften, relax, and let go. Each pose will be holding approximately 3 minutes. So take time to find stillness, focusing on your breath. So slowly beginning to lift up out of the pose, grabbing onto the outsides of the knees, lifting the knees up. You're going to take a moment here to maybe hug those knees in. And extend the legs, shake them out. So I'm going to give you the opportunity between every pose to move a little bit. And then we're going to begin to transition to the next pose. So swing those legs around. We're going to come into child's pose. So the feet are touching, taking the knees wide. And begin to come into your pose, extending the arms or keeping them bent. So this is a place where if your head does not comfortably reach the floor, you can use a yoga block or stack your fist and place the forehead onto the top. Close those eyes. Find your pose and just begin to settle into your edge. So you may have noticed I'm not going to talk very much in this class. It's time for stillness and quiet, allowing you to relax not only your body, but also hopefully your mind being free of distraction. Beginning your exit out of the pose, starting to rise up. Once again, drawing those knees in. And we're going to move into downward facing dog, just between the poses for just a moment. You can alternate bending those knees. And again, you're moving here in a way that just feels good to your body, very personal to you. Bringing the knees back to the mat. So our next pose is going to be thread the needle, taking that right arm underneath, keeping the hips over the knees as you extend that arm, resting the head onto the floor. So this is a great place for a blanket. If you have a thin mat and are on a hard surface, you might want to pad up your knees with that blanket, or even a place to rest your head. So very gently begin to lift out of that pose. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. If you need to take a moment, you can. If not, we're going to go ahead and move into thread the needle with the left arm underneath. Palm is up. Lowering down. I invite you to just close your eyes. Find stillness. Begin to transition out of the pose, back to all fours. Let's flow through a few rounds of bowing cat. Inhale, opening the chest, lifting the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, chin towards chest. Again, at your own pace, just moving that spine after that nice long hold. Let's do one more round of breath. Then finding that neutral spine, step the feet back and lift your hips up for downward facing dog. So we're going to transition into Pigeon Pose. Great for your hips. Remember to try to relax once we're in the pose. So we're going to begin with that right leg, drawing the right knee into the chest, then out to the side, and then slowly lowering down for the pose. So we're going to come into reclining pigeon. So we walk the hands down. So a great place for a block is underneath the hip. If you're struggling and rolling over onto that right side, placing a block there will help with support. And for the back knee, if you need a little padding, you can just place that blanket underneath that knee for comfort. So take your time moving into your pose. Begin to lift up, using your hands for support, transitioning to downward facing dog. Noticing the difference between the right and left sides as you again add gentle movement back into the body. Moving into down dog. Let's find Pigeon Pose on the left, drawing the left knee in, out to the side. Making any adjustments for the side that you might need with the block or the blankets. Taking your time as you slowly begin to find your edge. Never pushing through, just feeling. Allowing the body to soften and relax. Noticing if you are holding on to tension anywhere. And if you find tension, actively and consciously choose to let it go, to soften, to release. Beginning to lift. Coming out of the pose, carefully, slowly stepping back to down dog. And again, gently move. And let's pause for just a moment here in down dog, lengthening our spine, relaxing your heels down. We're going to step forward and we're going to return to have a seat on our mat. Extending the legs out in front of you. So we're just going to do a seated fold. And unlike our other styles of yoga where we have you contract your quads to lengthen the hamstrings, this is going to be done in a completely relaxed state. So you don't need to flex your feet or anything like that. Take a moment to sit up tall. And if your hamstrings are really tight, remember you can always elevate onto a blanket. That helps. So take a deep breath, and when you're ready, we're just going to start to fold forward. Any amount. Don't worry about what your body looks like in the pose. Close your eyes and just feel. So as you hinge forward, if you had a bolster or even a pillow, you could place it to where you lay on that pillow. Find that place of stillness, calmness. to lift the chest, coming back up, taking our arms behind you and just open up the chest. For all that leaning forward, this should feel good. Just a release for that back. And come back up, and we are going to take it to a spine twist down on the floor. So go ahead and lay it down. And for this version of a twist, we're going to keep both knees bent. Take our arms up like goalposts. And then when you're ready, gently drop both knees over to the right. So if you needed to make this less intense, just bend your knees less. So you might take the feet further away from you to make it less intense and draw them up closer for a deeper space. Begin to lift the knees, rolling onto your back. Let's take a moment to hug the knees into the chest, maybe rocking side to side or little circles here for the back. Now let's return the feet to the floor, arms back up into that goalpost shape, keeping the shoulders down. And when you're ready, begin to gently drop both knees over to the left. back onto your back, hugging the knees to the chest. And again, maybe small circles or side to side. Those long twists are fantastic for your spine. You're doing the body good. Let's end the class spending a few moments in Savasana. So when you're ready, extending the legs, relaxed feet away from each other. Palms up to the sky, eyes closed, finding stillness, not only in the body, but most importantly, the mind. Take a nice deep breath in. Let's extend our arms over the head, reaching, lengthening through the toes. Point those toes, a nice awakening stretch. And then gently rolling over onto your right side into a fetal position. Taking just a moment here to pause, to check in, to set your intention for the rest of your day. And I think this is the perfect time to acknowledge gratitude, not only for your bodies and the time on the mat, but just anything that you're thankful for today. Help yourself up to have a seat. You did amazing. I hope you feel amazing and relaxed and ready for whatever the rest of your day or evening holds. Let's bring our hands to our hearts, and from my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you again, and have a blessed day.